G'day legends, well I had to dust off the cobwebs on this very old hardcore Iron Man. I'm going to take you through the entire bank, show you how much value it's worth at the end of the video. I'm also going to talk to hands and show you that this is literally the oldest hardcore Iron Man possibly to have in the game. And you'll see my play time as well. There it is, just under 200 days. A lot of that was during the streaming, and during that time these are the stats that I clocked up. Probably my most impressive thing on the account was getting the achievement diaries done, including the wilderness one, which was pretty tricky, but I did play this account fairly safe. You can check out the boss high scores if you want. I still got a lot of very high KCs, but I feel like I did it in a very safe way. And I also got some very random items, like you can see the Ring of Stone. There can't be too many hardcores with that, and of course the fedora. I had to risk the life out in the wilderness to receive that from the crazy archaeologist or whoever it is. You can also see, of course, a few Barrows items, a 50 win cape at LMS. I desperately wanted the 100. Maybe I'll go for it one day. And I did also pull the DFS off a Wyvern, which was a massive surprise. I got the Hydra Slayer helm. I've got the Volcanic Abyssal whip, and you can see the Primordial boots. There was actually a while when I was top page ranked at Cerberus. I had a lot of top page ranks back in the day, but now people have just killed the bosses far too many times. And you wouldn't believe this, I absolutely love doing hard clue scrolls, and I was rank 1 for the hard clue scrolls once upon a time. I have the blue grace full, of course, 2 rune defenders, absolutely beautiful with their gold little tinge on them. And basically this is just the junk tab that every single person has. We got a few little Halloween outfits, we got the LMS cape, we got the Dead Man's cape. Just have a little look through for yourself. You can see I do have some beautiful pets, like the nice little Jad, and this little farming guy was a 1 out of 68,000 chance or something like that from a herb run. But have a little look through for yourself. There's the achievement diary cape. That was very hard to get on a hardcore. Moving on is probably the juiciest tab of all. This was my combat tab. You can see my potions up the top, of course the Dragon Hunter Lance, a bunch of whips. We got the Bandos equipment. We got those like 3 kills apart if you were in that live stream many years ago. Kinda random, but I absolutely love these boots. We pretty much finished off God Wars, where at least had all the items we needed, even the Staff of the Dead, which I took to the wilderness every single time because of its nice little spec. And we'll just keep scrolling down. 38 D meds, I don't know why, just the nostalgia, but I certainly love those. Yes, we finished off Cerberus. It took us 1,501 KC to get the last of the boots, which I can't actually remember which boot it was. We have a beautiful little BGS in there, and if you remember on Tilvesta's video once upon a time, I lent him this account. He took it out there and used the BGS and all my other items to try and get some PKs. And when I lent him this account, I said, take it out there and just use it until you die. But he actually didn't even die. So he said he might make a part 2 if I ever go get an AGS, which I simply will not be doing. And scrolling down further, we have the food tab. Still some pretty nice supplies in there. You won't notice any good food because we put that into this tab for Torvesta to go out PKing with. And there it is, the Vesta's Blighted Longsword. Not many hardcores, if any, would have that. But yeah, the food tab still got a whole bunch of anglers, still got a whole bunch of Karambams, lots and lots of stuff in there to be used if I ever get back to playing this account. If you have any recommendations for what I could use it for, let me know down below. And onto the magic tab, sort of a little bit random. They're all sort of a little bit mixed up. Look, it's not the cleanest bank in the world, but there is all of the runes, all of the staffs, basically some random things just in case. And now we head over to the skilling / resource tabs. You can see so many axes, so many logs, so many things to use in there. All of my ores if I wanted to start smelting again. But to be honest, I just don't think I can ever put that much time into this game. It just seems like a waste of a time once you quit, but I know how the addiction is if you're in deep playing, so do not worry. And there's the farming tab, pretty boring except for these beautiful little flippers, which I think everybody should have. All of the herbs and potions ready to be decanted and made. Absolutely glorious. All I would ever look for when I played back in the day was how many Ranars we had. Oh yeah, give me that sweet Ranar leaf. 162 Snapdragons too, not too bad at all. Nice 2 mils sitting there. And I just realized I have over 1,200 dirty Ranars for almost 10 million. Yes, sir. Now into a little bit of a fun tab. We've got the music cape T over there. We've just got a whole bunch of random clue items, things like that. But this was one of my favorite tabs I could possibly have. And I don't know why, I just like these very cool items, doing some beginner clues to get the rune scimitars with the god stuff on them. It was just so cool. And because I did so many clues, yes, I did get a couple of gilded, the 2H and the square shield. And I just remembered there's the collection logbook, so I can check out how many clues I've done. So let's... Oh no, I just put my collection log on. I just put my collection book on, so now I can't even use my other thing. Anyway, let's go over to the clues. Finished off the shared ones, but that's not too much of an accomplishment. But into the heart... Oh, and I forgot that it only says 451 because the collection log wasn't out when I was doing most of my clue scrolls. So basically, there's not too much point going through these because I think there'll be so many items that I have got that just aren't on the book. I think now you can use them on the book or something like that, but who's got time for that? So yeah, here's the rest of the tab. Do not forget that baguette, not the stale baguette. We also have this very random one. Have a little look for yourself. I think this was our quest item one, and just the items that I kept after finishing off all the quests. And then we go into this one. So if you want to see the grand total, it is worth almost 1 billion GP. If I put these last few items in there, it'd definitely be 1 billion. And to be honest, that's held its value pretty well over the last few years where I haven't played the game. So we finish up at 124 combat level, 213 million total XP. We've got a few quests that we haven't done. They're all the ones that have come out since I haven't really been playing the game. And I'm kind of happy that they didn't add any more of the achievement diary thing, so I didn't lose that cape. But that is my account, and if you want to see how old it is, well, it was actually made on the day of release of the Hardcore Iron Man. So we'll go talk to Hands, but basically you cannot beat this Hardcore Iron Man. There can't be too many left who were made on the very first day of the Hardcore Iron Man ever being released 3,215 days ago. And if you know of any hardcores that were created on the day of release that are still going around, maybe there's still some pretty big, some pretty good Hardcore Iron Mans, but to be honest, the only reason that my one is still alive because I have the biggest hack of all, and that is that if you do not leave the bank, you cannot die on your hardcore.